That's just my presumption.
That's the only
Unless you
way
take
I
some
know.
back way to Cedar.
Yeah, I guess you could get off at Cedar and go the other way. Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you guys play Beechwood?
No, we don't, but they are like right by us.
Is their baseball field right at the school?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, because we have a game there this afternoon with them.
Okay. Yeah, they recently got construction done, so it should be a nice facility. They just did their whole football field, so I assume they did their baseball field too.
This the bigger ump. He's refed stuff before. Or umps games before. I recognize that guy from summer ball.
All right.
So we do have an umpire here.
He looks smart too.
Hello, once again, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans, and welcome into the Lake Catholic Cougar baseball field as your Red Raiders are back on the road after yesterday's loss at Hudson. Today, they will be playing the Cougars, trying to get only their second win of the campaign. They got that very first win in San Diego in that four-game tournament. They beat Francis Parker 7-5, and after that, they lost four straight, three to conclude that tournament in San Diego, and then, of course, yesterday against Hudson. 3-0 was your final there. Casey Robinson pitched a gem. Tyler Zach came in relief. He did give up two, but technically, of course, Casey Robinson was that losing pitcher in yesterday's game. Now, this game was postponed from Friday due to inclement weather. It was a rough look for the baseball field. It was just covered in wet, sloppy mud, and so we actually moved that game. It was supposed to be at Shaker Heights. We moved it over to here at Lake Catholic as it is just a much nicer day out here in Menor, Ohio. Quentin Garnett is going to lead us off. He was the catcher yesterday. Today, he is the third baseman as Braden White moved in behind the dish. Quentin Garnett, the catcher, also starting defenseman on the hockey team. And the opening pitch to him, off the plate, ball one to open up his count. Now, Shaker, they've really struggled at the plate so far. They're only batting 161 while giving up the batting average of 266. That next pitch also down low. Now the kick-in pitch back to him once more. This one's popped up into right field. Right fielder is under it. He'll make the routine grab. There's out number one on a three-pitch count to Quentin Garnett. Bit of an early start. First pitch set for 10:30. Here we are, one man down at 10:28. The sun is out, no clouds in the sky, but of course, Northeast Ohio, it is pretty chilly out here at the baseball field. That'll bring up Will Tagan. He moved up from the 3-hole up to number 2. Quentin Garnett the same. He was from number 2 to number 1. That is because Cole Klein moved from number 1 all the way down to number 9 in the batting order. So here we get Will Tagan in at number 2. Perhaps head coach Stephen Inglis just trying to get the offense going earlier in the count, just trying to get him some more ABs as well. That pitch gets away from the catcher, however. There. Strike one. Next pitch to Will Tagan upstairs. Joe Benner will lose it behind him. It'll head to the backstop, however. It will be ball no matter what. There's ball two, 2-1. Will Tagan, one of the only 2 hits in yesterday's game against Hudson. The other one came from designated hitter C.J. Landrum, batting 4 today. This one's fouled up into the netting. That'll even up our count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's one away after the Quentin Garnett flyout. 0-0 your score. We're just getting started. Next offering to Will Tagan. Off the plate. Bounced up off the dirt. Right up here, almost into the press box if we didn't have this gating behind home plate. So now we'll count this one down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The payoff pitch is on its way in just a moment here. Radigan with his 9th of the inning. The kick in offering to Tegan. Upstairs and inside. Ball 4. Will Tegan will earn his spot over at first. He'll take the jog over, and that will bring up the big bat of Will Berglund, who in Francis Parker and in San Diego had a great run. In San Diego, he had a solo shot to open it up in Francis Parker. He had a triple against the Nevada School Durango, He had a double, a single, a walk. He had just about everything you can hope for. And there's the pickoff attempt. Will Tegan back in on a dive. 1 man on, 1 man out. Here in the top of the first, Shaker Heights on the road against Lake Catholic. The first offering to Will Berglund is up and over the netting, over the press box, foul for strike 1. Berglund yesterday went hitless. Not looking for that same kind of success. Tegan takes the lead from first. No throw is made as Radigan makes the motion over to first. Tegan back in standing. But now he will take that lead once more. Next pitch to Berglund. Off the plate, ball 1. That'll even us up. Tegan once again taking a hefty lead. Here, good contact from Berglund. It'll get into shallow center. We'll see if it falls. And that it does. No one covering second. Tegan will take the spot as Berglund gets a bloop single in a shallow center. So he'll take first. That'll move Tegan up 90 feet. He'll occupy second, and that will bring up C.J. Landrum. He was the other hit besides Will Tegan in yesterday's game for the Raiders. Shaker really struggling at the plate, but here a good start as Tegan gets on it and Berglund follows. C.J. Landrum, 1 for 2. He did strike out, however, and here's C.J. Landrum. Sends it to second. There's 1 out. And there's the double play. Lake Catholic gets out of danger. The Red Raiders had the man in scoring position. Will Tegan was at second, but the Raiders can't get anything done. And same thing happened yesterday against Hudson. They may get this close, but they just can't seem to bring anyone home. And so after the top of the first, 0-0 is your score, and that will bring up the freshman Wesley Lewis. We'll tell you more about him when we come back. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll be back for the call of the bottom of the first inning. Caden Boys leading off the Cougars. This is going to be an interesting first at bat for the freshman. Wesley Lewis hasn't played in JV. This is his very first high school start. Here he is in varsity. The first pitch fouled back into the glove of Braden White. Strike number 1. 0-0 is your score. Shaker once again held scoreless on offense. Next pitch from Wesley Lewis. Awkward swing that time around for number 2. The left fielder in today's game for Lake Catholic. So 0-2 the count. Definitely a pitcher's count. Will he get him to chase? He will not. It was off the plate. Couldn't pull the trigger. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. We're just getting started. Here in the bottom of the first inning. The kick and pitch from the right-handed freshman. This one off the plate again. Once again, he will not get the bite. That'll leave us up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lewis so far splitting his 4 pitches, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the next offering from the man in white jersey. This one's grounded right to Brett Moore at short. He'll make the throw on to first in time. There's the ground out for out number 1 at the bottom of the first. Good start for Wesley Lewis, getting 2 strikes immediately, but quickly. Braden White calling time. He wants to talk things over with his freshman, just a bit of communication. Maybe he's sensing some jitters from the young ball player. Hopefully Braden White got all his words out. He'll be behind the dish, and that's going to bring up Radigan. He's the pitcher for Lake Catholic. Had a bit of a shaky first inning. However, he was able to get out of it. First pitch. Looked a bit down low, but he'll rule this one strike 1. 1 away after the ground out to Brett Moore. Moore, the commit to Salem University for baseball. Next pitch. This one's grounded his way once again. Will he make the same kind of routine play? Does he beat it out? He will not. Just in time is Brett Moore's throw. Out number 2. He's getting all the action early in this game. And that's going to bring up A.J. Trobenner. Number 26 on the Menor High School hockey team. If you remember those games in the OHSAA playoffs, that was round 2 for the Shaker hockey squad. A.J. Trobenner, one of the best players that team had. And this one's popped up into shallow left. Cole Klein gets under it. He'll make the grab. And a quick 8-pitch inning for Wesley Lewis. Not a bad start for the freshman. We'll see if he keeps that up. So, through 1, Shaker was able to get 1 hit. Lake Catholic not able to get any, but we are still scoreless. 0-0 through 1, and your Red Raiders will be back up to the plate. It'll bring up Braden White, Nemo Crosby, and Brett Moore. We'll be right back. We'll tell you all about those 3 and how Radigan's doing so far. We'll be right back for the call at the top of the second. So that'll bring up the catcher, Braden White. You'll either see him behind the dish or you'll see him at the designated hitter position. Yesterday, that was C.J. Landrum. Today, also C.J. Landrum. No one's taking the DH position from him over this weekend, at least. Braden White with the bat above his shoulders. The first pitch to him, cut on and missed. Strike one to number 10. Braden White had a couple home runs this year, last year. This year, struggling to get it going. Next pitch, once again, cut on and missed. 0-2 the count to Braden White. Another defenseman from the hockey team. Now the next kick and a pitch. This one off the plate and low, ball one. Good patience from the junior. The 1-2. This one cut on. Sent up into foul territory. Will this be playable? Doesn't look like it will be. It's out of play. As it's out of play, we'll do it again at 1-2 strikes. Radigan taking the mound once again. Lake Catholic in the green tops, white pants, or supposedly gray pants. Now the next kick and pitch from Radigan. That's a called strike three. Drop third strike, however, they're going to need to make the throw on the first. They do so efficiently. Tro Benner on the first base. And there's out number one. That's going to bring up Nemo Crosby. Crosby, the right fielder in today's game. Yesterday, that position was occupied by Fogarty, but Fogarty probably going to act in relief today on the mound. That first pitch to Crosby, called strike one. Crosby currently 0 for 4 in his at-bats. This one's fouled back into the cage behind home plate. He entered in yesterday's game as a pinch runner for C.J. Landrum. Landrum, an O-lineman on the football team. He doesn't have a whole lot of speed on him. Next pitch to Crosby. Cut on and missed. Strike three. And so 2 men up here in the top of the second, 2 men down on strikes. So that's going to bring up Brett Moore. He's the 7th man in the batting order today. At commit to Salem University. The first pitch to him, just a bit upstairs, ball one. 2 outs. We'll see if the shortstop can get a 2-out rally going for O'Shea Howard behind him, number 8 in the batting order. This pitch also can't hit the strike zone, down low that time. 2 balls, no strikes with 2 away. 0-0 your score. Next pitch from Radigan. Ooh. Looked a bit inside. Umpire doesn't exactly see the same. Brett Moore trying to lean back out of the way. However, the umpire rules that one strike one. Next pitch to Moore. Also will catch the strike zone. Moore thought that one was down low. He's shaking his head. Not liking these calls a whole lot. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. This next one off the plate, that'll move us to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the payoff pitch from Radigan is on its way. This one's fouled back off the glove of Tro Benner behind home plate. "27 pitches for Radigan so far. The 28th is on its way now. This one, Brett Moore thought was ball 4 for a walk. He threw his bat to the dugout and started making the motion over. However, called strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down on strikes, and that will conclude the top of the second for the Red Raider offense. Then I'll bring up the freshman Wesley Lewis back to the mound, and we'll see if he can keep it going. He had an 8-pitch bottom of the first, 6 of which were strikes. We'll see if he can keep that efficiency up here in the second. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We will be back for the bottom of the inning. First batter up here in the bottom of the second is going to be Snyder, the center fielder for Lake Catholic. That pitch inside on the batter. Or, excuse me, called strike one. That time just a bit too inside, however. Ball one. Watch out for the inside strike. The umpire's calling that one a lot, and so far he's been consistent with it. We'll see if he keeps that up. 1 ball, 1 strike to the center fielder, Snyder. Now the next kick and pitch from the freshman. This time just a bit too elevated. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. We're just getting started in the bottom of the second inning. The next pitch, this one just 2 down low. A bit too high, then a bit too low. He's just got to find the middle ground on Snyder. Let's see if he can here with pitch number 5 of the at-bat. This one's sent down the third baseline, foul. So we'll get 2 strikes to Snyder. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count with the payoff pitch from Lewis on its way. The kick in the offering. This one will get over the head of the second baseman, Howard, and into right center field. Nemo Crosby will get there first. He'll send it in. There's a leadoff single for Snyder, number 19. He'll earn that spot over at first, bringing the next man up. The third baseman in today's game, to the plate. Number 9, the number on the back of his jersey. Lewis checks the runner over at first. This pitch upstairs, trying to get a pickoff attempt, is Braden White from behind the dish, throwing on the first. Not able to apply the tag was Berglund. First pitch was too high, ball 1. And next one, ball 2. Runner on first, nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 is your score. And that one, once again, upstairs and in ball 3. The 17th pitch from Lewis will not make its way there. He'll throw on the first on a pickoff attempt. He's back in standing. Runner on first, 3-0 count. The pitch upstairs and in. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk. So we'll get a runner on first and a runner on second with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Only an 8-pitch first inning for Lewis, but now he's already got 10 in the second with nobody out. Man on first, Snyder on second. The first offering of this AB off the plate. Ball 1. The Cougars entering into today batting .257. Looking to keep that up. Compared to Shaker's batting average, that isn't too great. And Lewis struggles with the play, and he's safe at first. Tried to bunt right to Wesley Lewis. He struggled with the scoop, so we got bases loaded with nobody out. Only in the second inning of your freshman debut appearance. Not exactly the position number 9 wants to be in. "20 pitches from Lewis, 11 of which were strikes. At pitch, off the plate, ball 1. Lewis needing to slow down this game. 1-0 count. This one cut on and missed by Nitre. Entering into today, the Cougars had 11 walks and 14 strikeouts. Good ratio, especially compared to that of the Red Raiders. That one ran in, almost got Nitre, the batter in the right-handed hitter's box. Luckily for Lewis, it didn't make contact with him. 2 balls, 1 strike. The next pitch from Lewis will be upstairs. Ball 3. 1 ball away from walking in a run. Locker on first. Man at second. Snyder at third. The batter, Nitre, with a 3-1 offering. That will catch the strike zone. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. To number 13. We'll see what he goes with this time. That'll be up and in on the Cougars' word mark. And so there's ball 4. Nitre makes his way over to first. The run comes in. Snyder, run number 1 of the ball game. Lake Catholic leading this one 1-0. Now we're going to get a mound visit from head coach Stephen English. We're going to take a very brief break. We'll be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from Menor, Ohio. One nothing your score. Lake Catholic just had a run walked in for them. Wesley Lewis, the freshman, he has already pitched 18 in this inning. He's yet to get an out. Now bases loaded. That pitch down low. Ball 1 to the batter. Now the next offering, this one cut on. Will it find the hole? It will not. Howard will get there. He'll make the play on the first. They will get the run in from third as man comes in to score. Locker moves from second to third, and Nitre from first to second. So 2 men in scoring position, but now we do get our first out of the bottom of the second inning. Hopefully that will help Lewis's confidence. Wesley Lewis, first pitch of this new AB. This one's sent to third base. Quentin Garnett having the batter in a rundown. He'll throw on to Braden White at home. He'll apply the tag. There's out number 2. Tried to make that dive in to home plate. Not able to do so efficiently. Out 2. Good play from Quentin Garnett. That will move us back to the top of the order. Left fielder number 2, the batter. This one down low. It's going to get away from Braden White. He's just got to find this behind him, and eventually he does. No throw made on any of the advancing bases. 2-0 your score. The Cougars lead early in the ball game. Wesley Lewis in a 1-0 count to the batter in the left-handed batter's box. This one's sent to first base. Berglund struggles to pick it up. Will he get there first? He will not. He is safe. Berglund thought he beat him. Clearly frustrated with that one. But there's run number 3 coming across. 3-0 now your score for the Cougars, leading it. An awkward play that time, and now we're going to get another mound visit as head coach Stephen English visits the center of the diamond once more. Except actually he's going to talk things over with the umpire, it looks like. So runners at the corners now with still 2 outs. Lewis now with 31 pitches. That last play technically ruled an error. This one fouled up and into the netting. Boys was trying to make his way from first to second. He's going to have to head back. Oh, 1 the count to begin Radigan's AB. 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Lewis really struggling here in the bottom of the second inning. Had a very efficient first, but ever since then it just hasn't exactly been that same success. That one in on Radigan. That'll leaving us up 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners are at the corners. Next pitch. This one swung on. It'll be over to the left side. Will it reach out of play? Indeed it will, into that parking lot. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Radigan, the pitcher in today's game for Lake Catholic. He's number 2 in the batting order. This next pitch upstairs, Braden White. Not going to make that throw to second as Boys advances from first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners now in scoring position. Lewis with the next offering. That will catch the strike zone. Called strike 3. Good pitch location from Wesley Lewis. There's out number 3, a much needed out 3. And we'll see how much longer Lewis goes in this one. He had a 28-pitch inning, 13 of which were strikes. So he'll let 3 come across on only 1 hit. Shaker, however, has had 2 errors on defense. We'll see if they clean that up. Shaker Heights back to the plate when we come back for the top of the third. Thank you very much for tuning in. O'Shea Howard, Cole Klein, and Quentin Garnett due up for the top of the third. O'Shea Howard, the batter, to lead us off for the Red Raiders. He's number 8 in the batting order. We're going to have Cole Klein due up in the 9 spot, and then back to the order we go with Garnett. One time through the order, 3 strikeouts, and that was just that last second inning, as there were 3 up, 3 down, all of which were strikeouts. We're at against first pitch, ball 1. O'Shea Howard had a great game against Francis Parker in that first game of the San Diego tournament. This one will once again get away from Joe Benner. He'll pick it up at the backstop, send it right back Radigan's way. 30 pitches for Radigan so far. 31st is on its way to Howard right now. That one right down the middle. Strike number 1. And that's just been the issue for these Red Raider batters. They just will not pull the trigger when they need to. Looking at a lot of pitches down the middle. However, that time, good look from O'Shea Howard, ball 3. The 3-1 offering. This one swung on. This is going to be lined into center field. A leadoff single for O'Shea Howard. He'll round first, but hold up there. That's going to bring up Cole Klein, number 3 on the back of his jersey, number 9 in the batting order today, typically in that leadoff spot. However, Moved all the way from first to last in the order. And we'll see how he performs in the new spot. Good start to the inning on offense for the Raiders. The first pitch to Klein is going to be popped up over to the left side. Will it get out of play? It will. That'll be strike one on Cole Klein. Orange bat in his hand. Pickoff attempt over to first. He's going to be safe just barely. In head first was O'Shea Howard. We'll see if he plays a bit more of a conservative lead over at first. This one's fouled up into the netting. Trobender plays it off the netting, but regardless, it'll still be a strike and no out. No balls. 2 strikes to Cole Klein, the batter, hitting left today. O'Shea Howard with the lead from first. Radigan with the offering right down the middle. Cole Klein watches it all the way into the glove, and he is out number 1 in the top of the third. Shaker just can't keep letting these strikes go by. Again, in that San Diego tournament, 107 plate appearances, 48 strikeouts. This one sent right to the second baseman. On to second, on to first. He is safe, trying to turn 2 for a double play. Nitre stretching out far, trying to make the play happen. However, only 2 outs. Quentin Garnett will be safe over at first. And that's going to bring up Will Tagan. They could use a big play out of number 8 this time around. Two outs, runner at first for Will Tagan. Pickoff attempt brings Quentin Garnett back in head first. .37 pitches from Radigan so far. 38th will be making its way to Tagan right now. Just off the plate. Ball 1 to open up that at bat. Of the 38 pitches, 23 are strikes from Radigan. Of course, 15 are balls. That pickoff attempt brings Garnett right back in. He is once again safe. Garnett taking a pretty hefty lead. That pitch just missing the strike zone. Been calling the inside strike a lot. Perhaps he found that one a bit too elevated. But there's ball 2 to Will Tagan. Next offering, that will catch the strike zone indeed. Two balls, 1 strike to Will Tagan. We know he has some power. Let's see if he can use it with Quentin Garnett over at first. And this time, he'll send this one with some elevation into right center. Getting under it is Snyder. He'll make the grab over to his left side. There is out number 3. So getting the leadoff knock was O'Shea Howard. However, they couldn't make anything happen. Shaker still scoreless, and they haven't brought home a run in what seems like a long time. Wesley Lewis back out to the mound. He had a rough last inning. He had a great first inning. Let's see how he plays it here in the bottom of the third. We'll be right back. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call from Menor, Ohio. A.J. Trobenner is going to lead off the Cougars here in the bottom of the third. Number 12 on the back of his green jersey. Wesley Lewis had a rough second inning, great first inning. So here in the third, we're looking for him to just get a bit more comfortable. 36 pitches for him through two, 19 of which were strikes. Not a great ratio, but we'll see if he can clean it up here. Ooh, looked a bit down low, but ruled strike one. 3-0 your score. Lake Catholic leads it here at their home field. This time it'll be sent into left, but foul. There's a cute golden retriever out there in left field. We'll see if he can get a ball coming his way later with a good knock out there with some good distance. Next pitch, this one's fouled back. Braden White loses it, however, no one on base, and it was fouled off. Doesn't exactly matter. No balls, 2 strikes to Trobenner. The 40th pitch from Lewis is making its way now, after the nod of the head, over to the catcher, Braden White. This one will find the middle of Will Berglund and O'Shea Howard. Nemo Crosby loses it at first. He'll recover, sending it in on the infield. There is a leadoff single for the catcher, A.J. Trobenner. And that will bring up Snyder, the center fielder, who made that last grab of the top of the third. First pitch to him. Elevated. It'll catch the top half of the strike zone. Strike one. Man on first, nobody out. In the bottom of the third inning, 3-0 your scores. The Cougars are leading. Next pitch. This one's fouled over to the right side. Will it reach out of play? It will. Berglund trying to track that one down, but of course, out of his reach. He's not going to go hopping the fence. Through the first 2 innings, he gave up 1 hit and 2 walks. Only 2 earned runs. Keep in mind, Shaker on defense has had 2 errors. This one's lined into left. Cole Klein going to get there first along the third base line, but there is a single once again. That'll move up Trobenner from first to second. 2 men on with nobody out in the bottom of the third. And now we're going to get another mound visit to the freshman, Wesley Lewis. Snyder at first and Trobenner at second. They'll talk things over as well as the mound visit takes place. Yesterday, the Raiders only used 2 pitchers. Both were starting pitchers. So today, if they need some relief, they have it available. And yesterday is a rest day for the Red Raiders as well on Eclipse Day. So they shouldn't be too hesitant to go to the bullpen if need be. 43 pitches from Lewis. The 44th will make its way to Mann. However, that pitch down low, ball 1. Snyder at first. Trobenner at second. Good RBI opportunity for the batter, Mann. Mann, his first time up, walked. So he's 0 for 0. That next pitch will be strike 1. That'll leave us up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still nobody out. I mean, you never know. Triple play is in order. It's just not likely. Next pitch. This one's sent to the third baseman, Quentin Garnett. He fumbles it at first. Now he'll make the throw onto Berglund in time. There's out number 1 in the bottom of the third. That'll move up the 2 runners already on. Just 1 more base forward. So now 2 men in scoring position with 1 away. The batter, Locker, the left-handed hitter. Now the first pitch from Lewis will catch the strike zone on the inside half. 0-1 to begin the AB. Locker 0 for 1 to begin his day. Next pitch to him upstairs, evening up the count. Lewis nearing the 50 mark in pitch count. We'll see if the Red Raiders need to bring in some relief early. This next pitch, cut on and missed. Strike 2. Got him with a pitch down low. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out with 2 men on. Next pitch. Looked a bit down low. They'll rule that one strike 3. As that's going to be strikeout number 2 for Wesley Lewis. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts issued by the freshman so far. And through 50 pitches now, he's got 31 strikes to his name, 19 balls. Next pitch, this one's popped up. Playable by Will Berglund over in foul territory. He'll make the grab, out number 3. And so no damage is done. There were 2 men left in scoring position, but 3-0 remains your score as the Cougars lead it. So we're through 3. We've still got 4 more to go. And we'll see if the Red Raiders can finally get clicking on offense. It has been a minute since they got a run coming across. We'll see if they can get something going in the 4th. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from the Cougar baseball field. We'll be right back. The batter to lead off the top of the 4th is going to be Will Berglund. He's got some power behind the bat. As mentioned, he had that solo shot against Francis Parker to lead off the season. We'll see if he can find that same kind of success. Currently, he is 1 for 1. This first pitch to him, find the strike zone. 0-1. Shaker down by 3. They got to play some catch up, but they haven't scored in a few games now. Through their first 5 games, they've been outscored by 22 runs. That's just not a winning recipe. 2 balls, 1 strike to Will Berglund. This one sent right to the third baseman. He fumbles it at first. The throw on to first won't be scooped up by Nitre at first. A tough play to make if you're Nitre at first. And so Berglund will be safe. We'll get the leadoff man on. CJ Landrum will be next up. Landrum 0 for 1 so far. When you got the man over at first, you just got to be careful not to ground into a double play, especially when your best factor isn't exactly speed. Grounded out into double plays a couple times this season already. That next pitch will find the strike zone to open up that at bat. 3-0. The Cougars lead it as we're nearing the halfway point of the ball game. Landrum 0 for 1. Radigan's 47th pitch. Ooh, he started the windup. Late call for time. And so Radigan needs to eat that one up and do it all again. No balls, 1 strike. The next offering off the plate. Outside. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. Nobody out as Berglund takes the lead from first. Radigan checks him over on the lead. Now he's going to make the throw on to first. Berglund back in safely. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shaker down by 3, but very much in striking distance. This pitch outside, ball 2. That same pitch location as the last. Shaker Heights entering into today 1-4, just trying to build up their wins once again. They won the first game of the season, but since then, no such success. That next pitch, strike 2. Of course, in Ohio, they're only 0-1, only being outscored by 3. However, they're still yet to score a run here in Ohio. They lost yesterday against Hudson, 3-0 in Hudson. Shaker's first home game will be Tuesday against Euclid. That'll open up their Greater Cleveland Conference play. It'll be their first time in the GCC. Last year, they were in the Lake Erie League, going 12-0 in the Lake Erie League. Their pickoff attempt, Berglund back in safely. But Shaker Heights played teams like Bedford, Lorraine, Cleveland Heights, of course. Cleveland Heights made that move over to the GCC as well, so that rivalry still alive and well. That pitch upstairs, he got him swinging. C.J. Landrum down on strikes. He's 0 for 2 now, and that'll bring up the catcher in today's game, Braden White. So the still over at first. Braden White 0 for 1. He went down on strikes. This time it'll be lined into right center. That should get down, and indeed it will. Along the home run wall, Berglund gonna round third. He should make it in safely, and indeed he will. RBI double for Braden White. And he's got some power behind the bat. When he makes contact, it is good contact. And there you go. Big fly into right center will make its way just in front of the track. And Shaker is on the board for the first time in over 10 innings. First pitch to Nemo Crosby, off the plate, down low as well, ball 1. "3-1 now your score. The Cougars lead it. Next pitch to Crosby, cut on and missed, evening us up at 1-1. Runner over at second after the RBI double from White. Next pitch to Crosby, hesitated on pulling the trigger. He holds back, but maybe he should have went. Strike number 2. 55 pitches from Radigan, 56th making its way now. And this one, it'll be fouled off. Braden White looking to steal third. However, he's going to need to head back as that's fouled back into the backstop. Shaker down 2. Just got their first run in what feels like a while. So let's see if they can use this momentum to their advantage. Braden White taking another hefty lead from second. Nemo Crosby sends this one into left. Is it playable? It is not. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out with a man in scoring position for Nemo Crosby, the right-handed hitter. And the next offering to him. Ooh, just barely held back. Just barely missed the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're now even to Nemo Crosby. Crosby yet to get a hit in the campaign, so we'll see how he'll do this time around. This one's sent into left field. Ranging in and to his right is the left fielder, and he'll make the grab. Braden White needing to stay put at second. So Crosby is retired. That'll bring up Brett Moore in an RBI spot with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 4th, the Red Raiders are down by 2. But with a swing like that, that could bring the man home. Braden White rounding third, but he's going to stay put. The Red Raiders playing it cautious. That's going to bring us O'Shea Howard, who's 1 for 1 with a single earlier in the second. Or excuse me, in the third. So now runners at the corners, Moore at first. It's going to be White at third. The catcher just trying to make his way home if he can. O'Shea Howard, the right-handed hitter, 1 for 1 with that single, number 2 on the back of his white jersey. Radigan with the next pitch. That'll be right down the middle. Strike. And number 1 to Howard. Moore taking the lead from first. White following suit. An early swing from O'Shea Howard. And Brett Moore going to advance from first to second. No attempt is made by Tro Benner to stop that from happening. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to O'Shea Howard. Cut on and missed. There is out number 3. 2 men left on in scoring position. However, 1 run comes in for the Red Raiders, and that'll cut the deficit down to 2, but they've still got some catch-up to do, and we'll see if Wesley Lewis can hold this score where it is. The freshman back out to the mound will tell you about his performance when we come back. Thank you very much for joining us here from Mentor, Ohio. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll be right back. Wesley Lewis back on the hill for the bottom of the fourth. We're halfway through this one. 4.5 down, 4.5 up. This one's sent right to Berglund. Plays it on the hop and on the backhand. Scoops it up. And he will tap on first for the out. What a great play from the senior, number 19. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That's one way to get back into a groove if you're Wesley Lewis. 3-1 is your score. Lake Catholic leading. Big first out, courtesy of Will Berglund at first. That pitch tried to find the inside upper corner. Just misses, a bit too high. Ball 1-1-0 is your count. The next offering. This one's sent over past Quinn Garnett, but Brett Moore will scoop it up. The quick throw. Berglund not able to scoop it up. Might have been too late either way. However, the runner is safe over at first, and that's going to send us to the top of the lineup once again. Boys, the left fielder batting first in the order is now up. Now it looks as though the baseball got out of the field of play, so the runner advances from first to second. Runner in scoring position with 1 away. Bottom of the fourth inning. Lewis's 55th will make its way now. Upstairs and outside. Ball 1. Lake Catholic leads by 2. They're looking to extend that lead. In the good old game of baseball, you could always use some more insurance. That pitch ruled the ball, surprisingly enough. Braden White holding it there for a minute, wondering where the strike call was. Didn't get it. This pitch going to get away from Braden White. He's not going to make the throw over to third. The advancement is made from second to third. Now deeper in the scoring position. Runner at third with 1 away. The batter number 2, 0 for 2 so far. Hasn't struck out, however. He has been putting it in play, and maybe that's what you want with a runner over at third. First strike, laid it in there. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth inning. This next pitch from Lewis will not catch the strike zone. There is walk number 3 from Wesley Lewis. He's only got 2 strikeouts issued so far. So now runners at the corners for Radigan. The first pitch he sees in the at-bat will be the 60th from Lewis. So far, Lewis has pitched 59, 35 of which have been strikes. He's allowed 3 runs. However, only 2 have been earned. 4 hits and 2 walks. And first pitch, can't catch the strike zone. Ball 1. We'll see if they go to relief next inning, as Wesley Lewis just seeming to slow it a bit down. This is going to be a bunt attempt. Will he just flip it over to home plate? He will, but he's safe in on the slide. So there's run number 4. The bunt brings the man in. So 4-1 now your score. The Cougars winning this one. 2 runners on with 1 out for Wesley Lewis to have to deal with. That'll bring up Tro Benner. Tro Benner, 1-for-2. Now this pitch off the plate, ball 1. The count. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2 men on in a 3-run ball game. Wesley Lewis checks the runner over at second, and now the offering to home plate. This one's fouled up into the netting and into that backstop behind Braden White. So there's strike 1, evening up our count. The runner over at second, boys. Now we're going to get a timeout for just a moment. Now everyone back in position. Radigan over at first as well. Trobender, the left-handed hitter, will take that one for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out to the Menor hockey defenseman of A.J. Trobender. Next offering, this one swung on. Sent into right. Nemo Crosby gets under it, makes the routine grab. They're going to try to tag and take third, and indeed they will. So now runners will move to the corners with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Luke Snyder, number 19 on the back of the green jersey. Lake Catholic playing this game here today. However, they will be on the road in Beechwood later today. So with 2 games, we'll see if fatigue could hit them in Beechwood. You never know. But today, having a good performance against the Red Raiders. They're up by 3. The next pitch will catch the strike zone from Wesley Lewis on the outside half of the plate. A bit surprising. The umpire, it's been a little bit of everywhere. This next pitch upstairs. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. Radigan on first, boys at third. Snyder, the right-handed hitter, playing in center field for the Cougars today. Two outs. Can Wesley Lewis get out of the jam? With a swing like that, it'll make its way into left, but foul to the left of that third base line. .68 pitches from Lewis, 40 are strikes. Giving up 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Runners at the corners. This one's popped up. Is it playable? It is. Brett Moore ranges in, and he drops it. And so, on the mound, Brett Moore's going to recover. Advancing from first to second is is Snyder. Radigan makes his way over to third. And so another run comes in. An unfortunate missed play that time for the Red Raiders, and that's already their 4th error of the ballgame. So far, they haven't reached more than 4 errors in a ballgame. We'll see if that changes, as we're just barely at the halfway mark. Already 4 errors. To counter that, the Cougars only have 1. So now your score 5-1, 1-0 the count. That time it'll catch the inside half of the plate. Man 0 for 1. Now he's got a 1-1 count. Radigan at third. Snyder at second. Nobody occupying first. Next pitch. That will catch the strike zone. Bit of hesitation on the call, but we will get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Can't imagine Lewis gets the rock for another inning. But we will see. This one's cut on. Sent over to the right side. Protecting well is man. Now the man in the green jersey will step back into the right-handed batter's box. Wesley Lewis with his 74th of the day, making its way now. This one swung on into left center. Tagan gets under it, calls off Cole Klein. He'll make the grab, out number 3. So, 2 runs come across here in the bottom of the 4th. Shaker was able to get 1 at the top of the inning. Each team has had 4 hits. However, 4 runs separate the 2 on the scoreboard. So, Wesley Lewis hasn't pitched too poorly. It's really been a matter of errors not helping him out either. He's only let 3 earned runs come across. And yeah, 4 errors for the Red Raiders defensively. For the Cougars, Radigan heading back out to the mound. We'll tell you all about it when we come back for the top of the 5th inning. Thank you very much for joining us Here from Enner, my name is Von Ullum. Due up, it looks like Sam Luther will be pinch hitting. Sam Luther, the junior, is going to pinch hit for Cole Klein. Klein was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Really hasn't found much production at the plate. Sam Luther has had some good at-bats. We'll see if he can get one here. First pitch cut on and missed on a pitch upstairs. 0-1 the count, nobody out as we're just getting started. The next pitch, and Radigan is attacking Sam Luther with now 2 strikes on him. Now this next one, not a good pinch hitting performance for Sam Luther. He got him on 3 strikes. There's out 1. And that'll bring us to the top of the order. The third baseman, Quentin Garnett. He'll flip-flop the third base position along with catcher. Yesterday he was catcher for the sophomore Casey Robinson. This one's scooped up by the second baseman, thrown on to first. Nitre makes the grab. There's out number 2. 2 quick outs for Radigan. Only 67 pitches for number 5 out there on the mound. And with the efficiency he has shown, could go all 7. And that's ideal when you got that game in Beechwood later in the day. First pitch to Will Tagan down the middle. He'll hold off, however. Strike 1. And again, Shaker just needing to be a little more aggressive at the plate. Watching a lot of pitches go by. However, this one Will Tagan won't let go right by. He'll send this one into left center. And the single is made from Will Tagan. Berglund will be the next man up. A 2-out single. Maybe Shaker can get some life in their bats now. Radigan was trying to get a 3-up, 3-down situation. Will Tagan says no, thank you. And that'll bring up the power guy, Berglund. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. That was pitch number 70 from Radigan. And here's the pickoff attempt over at first. Taken back in on a dive. Through Radigan's 70, 47 are strikes. Been attacking hitters well so far. This one fouled back near to where your camera lies. 1 ball, 1 strike after the foul. There's 2 away with the runner on first in the form of Will Tagan. Tagan taking his lead. Radigan checks him over. Now the offering. And that'll get away from Tro Benner. Tagan, he's going to advance from first to second pretty safely. So now the runner in scoring position for the big bat of Will Berglund. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs, and a 4-run ball game. Shaker needing to get some runs up on the board. This is going to get through the 5-hole of Tro Benner. And Tagan advances once more. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Three balls, 1 strike to Will Berglund. The next pitch. There's strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bit of a tense situation for Will Berglund. How will he manage? With 2 outs, the pitch inside. He got him swinging. Good pitch. Just got him jammed. And so Will Berglund will head back, leaving 1 man on, and now we got a new man on the mound. It's going to be Andrew Fogarty. He pitched a couple of times in San Diego. We'll hit you with the stats when we come back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Andrew Fogarty on, the senior, wearing number 4. We'll see how he does in the bottom of the 5th. Thank you very much for tuning in here from Menor, Ohio. Fogarty, the new pitcher for the Red Raiders, acting in relief. Sometimes he'll start us off today, just not the case. First pitch, strike 1 on a big swing from number 2-4. That one will miss, 1-1. He got the start against Morse High School. And a good game that was, just unfortunately, they did get a hefty loss. 8-0 was your final. The offense just was not clicking that day. And really, in that San Diego tournament, after that Francis Parker game, the offense didn't click much at all. There's ball 3. Currently, Fogarty enters into today with an 8.4 ERA. And there is a 5-pitch walk, and number 2-4 will earn the spot over at first. In that game against Morse, he gave up 8 hits and 3 walks. So unlike what we saw from Will Tagan, it was more of a hitting issue than a walk issue. So we'll see how he bounces back. Locker over at first. We're going to get a conversation between Andrew Fogarty and Braden White. He'll move from behind the dish. Now he'll head right back. Walsh, the pinch hitter. Pinch hitting for Nitre. Fogarty checking Locker over at first. Now the offering, and here's a bunt right to Fogarty. He'll scoop it up. He'll make the throw on the first. There's out number 1. We had that same kind of play happen with Wesley Lewis. However, Lewis wasn't able to scoop it up and make the play. Fogarty, a bit more experience on him. He's able to make the routine bunt out over at first. So the sacrifice bunt moves Locker over to second. Trinetti, the new batter. And this one, Fogarty just misses it. However, Brettmore makes the way from short, makes the throw on the first. More than likely had him beat. And so there's out 2. Runner over at third with 2 away. Now we'll get the right-handed batter. Righty-righty matchup. Fogarty's first pitch upstairs. Ball 1. 5-1 is your score. The Cougars lead it here at their home field. Next pitch from Fogarty. This one's popped up into right field. Nemo Crosby ranging in. He'll lose the hat, but he'll make the play. And there is out number 3. Pretty efficient inning from Andrew Fogarty. 3 pitches, 9 pitches, 3 outs, and he'll head to the dugout a happy man. But Shaker still has some work to do on offense. They are down by 4. Let's see what they can get cooking in the top of the 6th. Radigan back out on the mound. We'll be right back here from Mentor, Ohio. My name is Vaughn Ullum, covering the morning baseball game. C.J. Landrum due up now. Behind him, Braden White and Nemo Crosby. The other 2 men due up. We'll see if we get any pinch hitting as we did in the 5th. First pitch at the top of the 6th, cut on and miss. C.J. Landrum misses the contact of that one. He's 0 for 2 in his first 2 ABs with a strikeout to his name as well. Radigan, 8 strikeouts already. However, he hasn't struck out the same guy twice just yet. So there's another swinging strike. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Nobody out as we're just getting set here in the top of the 6th in a 4-run ball game. Next pitch to Landrum. He'll foul this one back. Good protecting swing from the big man, C.J. Landrum. The designated hitter in today's game. And the next offering to him. Just missed. Ball 1. Just barely. Decent pitch location. Surprised C.J. Landrum didn't decide to take a healthy hack at it. Next pitch to him, and that's going to run in and get him. He had 2 strikes on him at first, but after that, just lost control. So C.J. Landrum takes the spot over at first. And now we are going to get the pinch runner, and understandably so. The Red Raiders need the runs. You need the speed on the bases. You're going to throw in the freshman Aaron Neiman. Now the runner over at first. But this is where, as a pitcher, you're going to try and catch the freshman lacking. And, just barely safe over at first. Exactly what I'm saying. They're going to try some of these pickoff attempts on the young runner occupying the first base. This one's cut on, sent into right field. Getting under it is the right fielder. Center fielder was there as well. However, the routine grab is made. There's out number 1 as Braden White heads back. Nemo Crosby gives him a bit of a high five as well. So Braden White 1 for 3, but Nemo Crosby now comes up. He's 0 for 2. He struck out in one of his at-bats. There's strike 1 to him. We'll see if Radigan does so again. Neiman taking the lead from first. Radigan trying to get in the runner's head. And as a freshman, you're going to be cautious about getting back in the first. He's back in with a dive that time. Now time is called. Neiman taking his lead once again. 0-1 the count to Nemo Crosby. The next offering off the plate. Ball 1. 83 pitches from Radigan now. The 84th will make its way right now. Strike two. You looked at it on the lower half of the strike zone. Nemo Crosby didn't pull the trigger. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out with 1 man on. He's over at first in the form of Aaron Neiman. CJ Landrum was hit with the baseball, and now Neiman going to make his way. He tripped up. No throw was made by Trobenner to second as the freshman Aaron Neiman slipped up. And the Red Raider dugout celebrating the freshman. Maybe joking with him a little bit as well. Wasn't exactly a pretty advance from first to second. Next pitch to Nemo Crosby. This one sent up into left. Boys gets under it in foul territory, and it's dropped off the glove. And so Nemo Crosby lucky to have another go at it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Neiman lucky to even be standing at second after he slipped up on his way there. 86 pitches from Radigan. We'll see how much longer he goes. We'll see. Will he get the full game? Or if they're going to play more cautious and get some relief in there. Nemo Crosby sends this one into left. The play is made by Boys. This time, not dropped. It'll be a routine grab that time around. Out number 2. Aaron Neiman still over at second. Brett Moore comes up now. Brett Moore 1 for 2. He struck out. And now on the right-handed batter's box, let's see what he can get going with the runner in scoring position. That first pitch off the plate. Brett Moore looks over to head coach Stephen English over at third. He'll give him the single, which means nothing to me, but I hope means something to him. This one's going to get through the middle. Neiman rounding third. Will he get in there safely? He should be. Yes, he is. He is safe, and Brett Moore advances from first to second as well. So Moore over at second. Neiman safe at home plate. That will cut down the lead from 4 to 3. That was close. Just barely making it in safely. And that'll bring up O'Shea Howard. Also 1 for 2 here today. Also struck out, just like just about everyone else in the batting order, except for the first 2 guys, Quentin Garnett and Will Tagan. First pitch fouled off over to the right side. There's 2 away with a runner in scoring position. It's Brett Moore at second. And now that next pitch upstairs, ball 1. That'll even us up. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away in the top of the 6th inning. Next pitch to Howard. Ooh, right down the middle. Strike 2. Watch that one go on by. We'll see if Fogarty comes back in relief for the Red Raiders, but they got to get there first. 1 strike away. O'Shea Howard sends this right to the shortstop. Fumbles on it at first. Can O'Shea Howard beat it out? He cannot. Out number 3 on the ground out. So Shaker gets 1 more to come across. They get just a bit closer, but now they've only got 3 more outs to work with in the top of the 7th, but we got to get through the bottom of the 6th first. Andrew Fogarty is back out to the mound, and we'll tell you about how he's been doing so far when we come back. 5-2 your score. Lake Catholic leads it here in their home territory. We'll be right back. So we're back for the bottom of the sixth. Could be the last time we see Lake Catholic's offense. That pitch, ooh, missed the mark. Very much short of home plate. We're back to the top of the order. And this one cut on right to Will Berglund. He'll flip this one over to Andrew Fogarty, just beating him there, I believe. Oh, he didn't have the baseball. So the flip just did miss the mark. So now Fogarty has the man at first to think about in the form of Boyce. And now the pitcher, Radigan, will be the batter. Radigan 0 for 3 here today. Struck out once. Fogarty with the first offering. Here's a bunt attempt. Popped up. It's going to be foul over to the right side. He bunted successfully earlier in the ballgame. Fogarty with 12 pitches now. 6 of which were strikes. Of course, the other 6 missed the mark. 5-2 your score. The Cougars are leading. The next pitch from Fogarty is on its way. Misses the mark once again. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out with a man at first. Fogarty typically occupying right field, but today the Red Raiders knew they might need him in relief. And another pitch outside. What the Red Raiders wanted to do was use Tyler Zach in this game to start us off. However, he was going to pitch the game Friday against this team, but he had work on Sunday, so he wasn't available today. And so you had to bring in the freshman, Wesley Lewis. So Tyler Zach actually worked in relief yesterday to Casey Robinson, the sophomore. Not exactly ideal if you're the head coach, Stephen English. This pitch, looking for a steal attempt. Braden White won't make the throw on to second. He's safe over at second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count with nobody away. 3-run deficit with the Cougars leading. It's Fogarty's job to leave this score where it is to keep the Red Raiders in striking distance. This pitch fouled up into the netting. The sun definitely out here today. Still a chilly day, but a very, very blue sky. It should be getting warm this week for those Euclid games as Shaker enters into the GCC play. First time in the GCC. This one sent over, foul to the right side. Shaker Heights hoping to have that same kind of success as they did in the LEL, but you can't exactly anticipate it. Last year in the Lake Erie League, they went 12-0, but in a new league, you don't know what to expect. That pitch upstairs and inside, ball 4. That'll walk Radigan over to first, so now 2 men on for Tro Benner to head into the left-handed hitter's box. 19 pitches for Fogarty so far. The 20th will make its way to Tro Benner in just a moment here. Tro Benner 1 for 3. First offering of the new pitcher. Good pitch location. Just got the outside half of the plate. Fogarty checks the runner at second. Won't make a move. He'll send the pitch, but just very much elevated. Ball 1, evening us up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still nobody out. We'll see if a double play can happen. Shaker's done it a few times this season. This one sent over to the right side, foul. Thing is, Shaker's defense hasn't been too bad. Their pitching has been pretty good. Like in that game against Durango, the Nevada school, as a part of that San Diego tournament, Tyler Zach, the starting pitcher, only gave up 2 earned runs. But your final score was 8-0, or excuse me, 6-0. So the pitching has honestly done pretty well. It's just the defensive errors and the hitting just has not backed up this team. Through 6 games, this is the second highest scoring game for the Red Raiders. One ball, 2 strikes. This one sent over to the right side. Foul once again over to that Cougars dugout. Still nobody out. Benner really protecting well. So we'll do it again with 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 men on. Fogarty checks the runner at second. Now he'll make the throw off the plate. Benner 1 for 3, looking to go 2 for 4 if he can in an RBI position. There, he'll swing and miss down low. There's the throw on the third. It'll get away from Quentin Garnett. There's another defensive error for Shaker Heights. And now Cole Klein isn't going to beat Radigan over to third. However, they will get that 1 out over at first. And my goodness. Snyder, the batter, 2 for 3 here today. And there's strike 1 to him. So now it's 6 defensive errors for Shaker Heights. That's the most errors they've had so far in a game this season. Next pitch from Fogarty. This one's popped up on the infield. Fogarty calling off everyone. He'll make the grab. No advancement is made from third. Out number 2. Good read from Fogarty. Surprised he didn't let that one go to the first baseman, Will Berglund, but when you make the catch, you make the catch. No one's going to complain. So pitch 29 will be the first one of Mann's at-bat. He is 0 for 2, and the first pitch will be strike 1. Fogarty threw 29 pitches, 17 strikes. He's attacking the hitters well. In the next offering, that'll be down low. Ooh, almost made its way to the backstop. You can thank the umpire for not letting it do so. Just got caught between his footing. Runner over at third with 2 outs. The count now 1-1. Mann, the batter, in the right-handed batter's box. Radigan, the runner. Next offering from Fogarty. Off the plate. Ball 2. One more out away from getting Shaker's offense back up. Once again, the pitch misses on the outside half. Only 1 strike on Mann. Shaker with 3 more outs to work with on offense, but you got to get there first. 6-2 your score. This one's lined into center. Will Tagan's going to be the first man to get there in shallow center. There's run number 7. So Locker's going to be the next man up. And now what is a 5-run ball game? Man now occupying first base. However, none of Fogarty's runs have been earned. Only 3 earned runs for Lake Catholic. So let's just say the 6 defensive errors haven't exactly helped them out. Now we're going to get time called. Now it looks like we're going to get a runner substitution. Lake Catholic up by 5. Fogarty going to play catch with a shortstop, Brett Moore. And now just with the rest of his infield. No balls, 1 strike, 2 Locker. And now there's strike 2. Fogarty 1 strike away from getting out of the bottom of the 6th. Shaker with 3 more outs to get 5 runs. That'll only tie it. Fogarty checks the runner at first. Now he'll make his motion to home plate. Did he go? Looks like he held off. Now here's the throw. On the second. What a throw by Braden White, but Brett Moore couldn't bring it in cleanly, so it hits the dirt, and he is safely over at second. Pinch runner doing his job efficiently. So Locker with 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now we're going to get time called again. Next offering, this time upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of 2s up there on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 man on second. And now this one sent into right center, getting under it. He'll make the grab, and now Shaker's offense has some work to do if they want to get the biggest comeback of what has been their short season so far. Shaker actually out hitting Lake Catholic, but down by 5 due to the 7 defensive errors now. So we'll see what they do on offense, see if they can get something cooking. Radigan back out there on the mound. Surprising decision. He's already up to 93 pitches, so we'll see how he's going to close this one out. He's only given up 2, only 1 earned run, however. So we'll see. We're not going to go to break this time around. Cole Klein will be back up, it seems. Sam Luther pinch hit for him earlier, but he's back. The 9-hole has found no success so far. Cole Klein struck out his first time. Sam Luther, when he hit for him, he also struck out on 3 straight strikes. So Radigan back out on the mound. 93 pitches so far, 62 of which have been strikes. The next pitch to Cole Klein, fouled off to that Shaker Heights dugout. Five runs separate the two teams. 7-2 is your score. Cole Klein 0 for 1. Next swing will not make contact. 0-2 now on him. Radigan now with 95. 96th. Will be inside. It'll miss. Tried to get him jammed that time around. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. In the top of the 7th, Shaker with 3 outs to get 5 runs to tie. That pitch inside once more. Tried that same idea, pitch location. That's 97 for Radigan. Next pitch to Cole Klein. Cut on and missed. There's strike 3. And now we're back to the top of the order as Quentin Garnett makes his way up. Garnett 0 for 3 today. However, he hasn't struck out. Only him and Tegan have not struck out. That pitch, ooh, very much inside. Had to get out of the way. Leaning his shoulder in to make sure no contact was made. That was the 99th. Here's the century mark. That'll get away from him. So 100 pitches down, 66 are strikes for Radigan. 1 ball, 1 strike to the catcher, or excuse me, today's third baseman, Quentin Garnett. That one ran in, almost got him, just missed. Now this is where you start to see that fatigue come into play. 101 now for Radigan. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Quentin Garnett, the batter. The next kick and pitch. It'll catch the outside half, evening us up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 102 from Radigan. 1 out after the Cole Klein strikeout, and there's the second strikeout of the inning as Quentin Garnett will be the 9th strikeout of Radigan's day. Tegan, the one guy to not strike out, and here he comes. So Tegan's 1 for 2. We'll see how he does this time around. The first pitch he sees will be 104 from Radigan. This one's swung on up into the netting, foul. Shaker down by 5. See if Will Tegan wants to get a 2-out rally going. He's the center fielder in today's game. And there's a big swing and miss, strike 2. So now Shaker down to their final strike. Down by 5. Radigan's 106th to put him away. This one's fouled off over to the right side. He's protecting. He's protecting well. This is why he's that commit to Wash U. No balls but 2 strikes on him. 2 outs in the final inning, the top of the 7th. Will Tegan, number 8 on the back of his jersey. What can he do? He's 1 for 2 so far. Next pitch. This one's cut on into center. Will it drop? It looks like it will. So he stays alive. So do the Raiders. That'll bring up Will Berglund. Now it looks like we'll get time called. And they're going to talk over this one. Radigan has now pitched 108. Now it looks like we're going to get a new man in there. Trinetti will be the new pitcher. He's going to get some warm-up pitches. We're going to take a very short break. Shaker still down to their last out, but now they got a man on first. They're down by 5. Let's see what they've got left in them, especially with the new man coming on in relief. We'll be right back here from Menor, Ohio. The first pitch to Will Berglund will be cut on and missed. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. This next one cut on, lined in the left. That'll get down for a single. Will Tegan round second, but He'll stay with the security of second. So still 2 outs. That'll bring up the big man, C.J. Landrum. Landrum, one of the 2 hits in yesterday's game. The other one was Will Tagan, who's currently occupying second. C.J. Landrum struck out in this one. He had Aaron Neiman pinch run for him earlier, but now he's back out there. 7-2 your score. Shaker's still down, and they're still down to their final out, but they're staying alive. And they're called strike. 1-1 the count to number 25. Landrum 0 for 2, looking to move it to 1-3. The next offering. That'll be down low off the plate as well. Shaker Heights looking for a very, very late comeback, the latest comeback you can make, down to your final out. Next offering. That'll be down low. Tagan going to advance from second to third. No throw is made by Tro Benner. Will Berglund stays over at first, so runners at the corners with 2 outs. 3-1 the count. The next offering, just caught the outside half. So now Shaker once again down to their final strike, and it's a tense position for the batter, C.J. Landrum. Full count, 2 outs, down by 5, runners at the corners. The payoff pitch. This one down low. Ball 4, C.J. Landrum will take his spot over at first. And that's going to bring up Braden White, who actually had an RBI earlier in this one. He's 1 for 3. He struck out once as well. He sent one into right center. And this time we're going to get a pinch runner once more for C.J. Landrum. This time it's going to be Colin Richard. Braden White taking some hefty practice swings. He's got home run potential. We saw it many times, or not many, but a handful of times last season. So with one swing of the bat, it could be a 1-run game. It's just not exactly likely. Next offering to him, down low once again. Ball 2, 2-0. Just can't seem to put him away. Trinetti with 10 pitches now. Bases are loaded with 2 away. Next offering to Braden White. Off the play. Here's the throw in at first, but Colin Richard back in on a dive. 3 balls, no strikes to Braden White. They're close to walking into a guy. Next offering. That one right down the middle. Strike 1. You understand White's thought process of not swinging there. This next offering, this one sent over to the third baseman. He struggles to scoop it up, but now the throw onto first. He's safe. He says he was off the base, so that'll bring one man in. And so now it's a 4-run ball game, still 2 outs. Trinetti still on the mound, and now we're going to get a mound visit, it seems. The coach also wanting to talk to the infield umpire as well. Now the umpire is actually going to talk this one over. Nemo Crosby would be the next man up. Head coach Stephen English looking on to the umpires. Both umpires talk for just about 2 seconds, and they make their verdict. And the verdict is the same. He is safe over at first. Braden White now will occupy first. Richards at second. He was the pinch runner for C.J. Landrum, and it's Berglund over at third. Nemo Crosby not known for the power, so not exactly expecting a grand slam out of the kid. First pitch was upstairs, ball 1. Brett Moore would be up next if we get there. That next pitch down low, ball 2. Still 2 outs. Nemo Crosby 0 for 3. Next offering to 13, late swing, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Nemo Crosby, number 13. Next offering. Ooh, down low, ruled strike. That'll even us up. 2 balls, 2 strikes for the third time. Shaker down to their final strike. The next offering to Nemo Crosby off the plate. He stays alive. That'll bring us to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tense position for number 13, Nemo Crosby, with the bases loaded. Next pitch, this one cut on over to the third baseline, but the third baseman will make the play. He'll get the force out on third. There's out number 3. So Shaker definitely showed some life there at the end. Just could not get any comeback brewing. They still lost by 4. 7-3 is your final. The Red Raiders will move to an off day tomorrow. Then after that, they will face Euclid in those Panthers. Shaker Heights will be entering the Greater Cleveland Conference play on Tuesday against Euclid. Then after that, we will see how they fare. Shaker Heights actually out hitting Lake Catholic here today. 8-5 was their statistic there, but the real concern was the defensive errors. 7 defensive errors for the Red Raiders. Lake Catholic only had 2, so that was the real difference maker there. 7-3 was the final. The walks didn't really come for Lake Catholic, only 5, which isn't exactly out of the ordinary. 5 walks, 5 hits for Lake Catholic. So they will move on. They play Beechwood later today. And as mentioned, Shaker has the rest of the day off. Then tomorrow for Eclipse Day. And then they will take on Euclid at home. The next day will be away. So thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from Menor, Ohio. Shaker loses another one. That's 5 straight. We'll see if they can pick themselves back up against Euclid as they begin in the Greater Cleveland Conference. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We will see you on Tuesday. Have a good rest of your Sunday.